This entire game started its existence in a spreadsheet. Not a prototype, not an idea, an actual dark fantasy tabletop RPG. This is how Absent Age began. I tried to start this project many times, and every time something stopped me. At first it was art. I couldn't draw. Digital tablets felt impossible to learn to use. I never could get how to use it properly. Then it was ideas, a lot of them, and comfort food. I always had something to play. Diablo 2, Diablo 3, Path of Exile, World of Warcraft, Dark Souls, It Takes Two. I play a lot with my wife. Old games I kept coming back to. Warcraft 3. Oh god, for how many of us it was a starting point. Playing filled the need that creating never reached. I am GienioslaV, and this channel didn't start as a game development channel. It started with World of Warcraft. I was documenting one last journey through Azeroth, playing together with my wife before our child was born. That series ended earlier than planned. Not because of the project, because life changed. Instead of forcing it to continue, I chose to close that chapter. But the reason I started recording never disappeared. I wasn't documenting a game, I was documenting a journey. So this channel evolved, not into something else, but into something more honest. Now the journey is the game itself, from an idea to a system to something real. That's what this devlog is about. At some point I watched an old video by Josh Strive Hayes about making games. He said something simple. I don't remember the exact words, also I couldn't find exact clip, but the idea stayed with me. If you want to make a video game, start with something simple. Have you ever made a working board game? And I realized something uncomfortable. I wanted to build complex digital worlds without ever finishing something simple. I didn't start with a board game because it was easier. I started because it was possible. I didn't need engines, I didn't need code, I didn't need years of learning before starting. I know there are many tutorials on YouTube, but I didn't have time at this exact moment. I could draw a prototype on paper. I could design cards in Canva. I could solve problems with physical objects. And most importantly, it fit my life at that time. Long work hours, overtime, no energy to study after work. Ideas started coming naturally. I wrote them down, and slowly, everything ended up in Excel. Excel became the brain of the game. Systems, numbers, variance, balance. Then Diablo 4 was released. I don't hate that game, or I do. Maybe Blizzard more, and their predatory microtransactions and lack of systems in the game. But something about it hit me hard. During the first season, I felt frustration, not anger, emptiness. And that's when it happened. I thought, if I'm going to spend a lot of hours anyway, I want to spend them on something that's mine. It was it. I grabbed the moment and decided to build my own project. From start to finish. Absent Age is a dark fantasy tabletop RPG / tactical board game hybrid I'm building from scratch. I knew from the beginning this would be a solo project. What I didn't expect was the scale, mechanics, systems, world building, art direction, and yes, I use AI. Not because it's trendy, but because without it this project wouldn't exist. I work a full-time corporate job. I have family, bills. I don't have the budget to hire artists. I want to, maybe in future. AI didn't replace vision, it made finishing the project possible. I will probably talk about this more in a separate video. Why dark fantasy? I didn't choose this genre because it's popular or because it's cool. Fantasy has always been my escape. It started with Hobbit, then Lord of the Rings, later Warcraft 3. OMG, I love this one to this day. And I still remember one moment very clearly, end of the Frozen Throne campaign, when Arthas puts on the crown of Lich King. That wasn't just epic. That was the moment why I understood that fantasy can be tragic, heavy, and uncomfortable. As I grew older, my taste changed. I still love high fantasy, but life adds weight. Experiences change how you look at stories. And naturally, I started looking for darker worlds. Worlds with almost no hope, worlds with tragic endings and grim atmosphere. Dark fantasy isn't just phase. It's the result of evolution. And this project could only exist in that space. Right now, this game has over 1,000 elements on the Excel sheet. Classes, variants, enemies, maps, items. But the most important part isn't the size. It's the fact that this is the first project in my life that has a real chance of being finished. Not because it's perfect, but because it's possible. This Devlog series is about that process, turning a notebook in a drawer into a finished game. Welcome to the house of GienioslaV.